here. We're space engineers, and we have just finished up doing the salvage run. And Bob has been a little busy. Actually, I'm going to take a look and see what we have in inventory here. Not too much. This is what's left. Oh, so we ended up picking up quite a bit of stuff, actually. Nice. Some of this is stuff that I had on me before. Some of this is the stuff that was in the ship, and then, you know, just lots of material. All right. So, what are we doing today? That's a good question. I'm not really sure myself. I think what we're going to do is get this beast back to the base, trying not to run into the asteroid there. I guess we can accelerate a little bit more. Get us up to like 50 meters a second. Yeah, that should be good. I don't want to go full burn because I'm not quite sure how much distance I'm going to need to be able to slow this thing down. So, let's talk about what's going on. I think what we're going to do is, now that we have this thing pretty much done, I think we're going to do one more video for this series, and that'll be the final unveiling of this thing completely done. You've seen basically where we're going with the design ideas on it, so what I want to do is actually go ahead and get the rest of the armor in, get everything sorted and fixed, filled out, and then we'll unveil the final ship design. Because there's a couple of areas, like this underbody area, that I want to deal with, and I don't think I'm going to have I just don't think making more videos on this particular ship is going to really do anything for you other than to show you where it's at. You've already seen all of the design ideas that I've come up with and the way that I'm handling certain things, but there's stuff that I'm basically going to need to do now where it's just going through and tweaking the design a little bit. Like our lateral thrusters, you know, they work for what we need them for. Lift, or the ascent and descent thrusters, are pretty good, but I'm thinking I kind of want to, I may mirror what we have on the upper nacelle, on the lower nacelle, basically spread those out a little bit, and maybe add a few more in. I don't know about for the upper nacelle yet, but I kind of like the way that worked, because we basically have 20 on the upper, and then down here we've got, what is that, 8. So now it's 10, so 20 there as well, and then we've got, so 30 total. So I'm thinking maybe mirror what we have up here, and I guess I could throw a couple more in that forward section, a wee bit at least. Alright, go ahead and hit the retros. But yeah, so I think basically just wrap this thing up, get it finished up, and then do a big unveil, I think, on Monday. So for today, let's talk about what I do like and what I don't like about the design. I do like the fact that it's different for me. It's I've done big ships before, and I've done small grid big ships before, but I think this one has been one of the more fun ones. I've experimented with and played around with a lot of different design methodologies as far as what we were doing in the build, for layering the armor. You know, just had some fun with it. Got to take a look at some of the things that we've talked about in other videos, but I haven't shown recently. And so I think that has been a pretty good thing for this series. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback. I don't think I've really gotten any negative feedback on anything, at least for this ship. But yeah, So hopefully everybody's been enjoying it. I had a lot of fun building this thing, but I do think it's time for us to move on to other things in Space Engineers and otherwise. Oh, all right. So I think this is going to be basically mostly just us getting this ship back. Let's get this thing around. But yeah, so I did, like I said, I do think it's been a pretty good run for this series. But honestly, I think I want to take I'm not going to say take a break from Space Engineers, but I definitely want to get back into more of the real gameplay of the series, of the game. And for those who don't know, Keen Software is basically planning a fairly large update where they're going to be introducing new weapons. They're completely rebalancing combat in the game. Armor is going to be rescaled. Things like the vanilla weapons are going to have their ranges modified. Basically, everything's going to have a much larger radius. Or I should say just a longer range. Oh, this could be bad. At least we have shields. Alright, let's see. Oh, yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Nothing to see here, right? Let's bring this thing in here. Oh, so the ship overall, handling. I actually like the way the ship handles for the most part. It definitely needs more gyros still. And so I'm probably going to, that section where we've got gyros already, I'm probably just going to stuff that pretty much completely full. For a couple of different reasons. I do want the ship to be able to turn a little bit faster. One thing that would probably benefit the ship. Hey, look, I found my asteroid outpost. I swear this game gives me the weirdest system messages. It's like you found something that you own. But yeah, so overall, I think it's been a good thing. I like the ship. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And we want to put it out on the workshop for you all to tear apart. So we will do that. Go ahead and put the shields down. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and square you up a little bit. Now I did turn the gravity generators off as well, so that's something to keep in mind. Alright, that should be pretty square at that point, I think. Yeah. And there you go. Let's bring it up just a touch. And we can start shutting everything down. And let's go find a door so we're not bouncing everywhere. Let's turn back on so we actually have gravity. Oh, so much better. Alright. So I turned gravity off while I was harvesting the salvage because of the fact I don't think we were dropping many parts, but we were losing a few. And so I wanted to make sure we weren't continuing that, because that's a very bad thing when you're trying to salvage stuff. So let's head in here really quick. Now, one of the things, let's see, what we need, there you go. Throw all this stuff in there. We'll let Bob sort all of that out eventually. All right, so one of the things that I did come up with, or I should say that I ran into, is having the bobs, small grid bobs on this. It works in close proximity, which is good to keep you from kind of exploiting Bob's behavior in order to use it to strip bases and things like you can with the large grid. But what I think I'm going to need to do is add a couple of more. So, because what I'm thinking is that we've got the, we've got 2 bobs on each side. And so I'm thinking maybe back here. Oh, I parked it too well. So I'm thinking maybe back here where the cargo area is, back in here, is maybe mount a couple of bobs on the bottom of the cargo network, and then that'll actually help reinforce Bob's ability to keep the ship functional, but it also gives us a couple of more systems. I need to actually open up those ramps. It'll give us a couple more systems so that when we're doing salvage, like deep space salvage, we'll be able to get parts from more things quickly in a faster fashion. Because what was happening is that with the way everything is set up, we were only able to really salvage stuff maybe to here, which is really close. So what I want to do is actually set the offset for Bob forward as far as we can, which would probably put it around here. And then that will allow us to get a little bit extra range out of it. But yeah, it just... What? Is that something being completed? Yes, that was that being completed. But yeah, so it just basically would give us a little bit better range and distance on Bob and make him a little bit more useful, because then we'd actually be able to use him for mining and such, which was the intent. And then having additional Bobs throughout the ship basically gives us a sphere that Bob can get to that actually encompasses the entirety of our ship. So I think that would be a good thing to do. And I mean, I'm not even, honestly, I'm not opposed to having them, like, we could actually put Bob, like, down in here. There's all sorts of things we can do. But, yeah, so the other thing I need to do is I need to get the cabin windows in for the rest of the residential areas over on this side. And then need to finish doing the texture work on this thing. So, yeah, anyway. So that's basically what I've been thinking on. Like I said, there's quite a bit that I still want to get done. I want to get all of this welded up, get everything over here in and sorted. And I seem to have lost a block there. Oh. Interesting. I have to fix that. So yeah, okay. So to recap very quickly. Get in here so we don't have to worry about dying. Recharge, thank you. Alright. So what I'm going to do is between now and Monday is get all of the armor actually done. get the lighting stuff in that I wanted to get done, and basically finalize the ship. We're gonna finish it up. So when we come back on Monday, it'll be just a quick, here's what it looks like, here's how it handles, release it to the workshop. And then maybe take the rest of next week off from Space Engineers. We'll do some other videos. There's a couple of games that people have been asking me about that I've been playing. Things like Starbase. I'm not really doing too much with Dual Universe anymore. But there's a couple of survival games. There's actually a couple of survival mods for Space Engineers that have come out and are actually really, really well done. I'm not just talking about the daily needs, but there's one that's eat, sleep, and it's like eat, drink, and sleep or something like that. Basically, there's actually it adds a sleep mechanic to the game. And talking to a few people that have been playing with it, they really like it. So I figure maybe do something with that. There's a couple of other mods that I would kind of like to take a look at and do some exploration with. And like I said, we'll probably do some things with some of the other games as well. Anyway, that's all to be talked about next week. We'll figure out what's going on. We'll have a schedule, so we'll set up the schedule and get a games list set up so that everybody knows what's going on and what to expect. Like I said, Space Engineers is going to stay on the channel. Don't worry about that. It's just trying to get all of my stuff sorted, get schedules nailed down, and we'll figure out from there. All right, so all of that said, I'm going to thank you all for hanging out with me, also for sticking with me for way too many videos we've done. This has actually turned into one of the longer series unintentionally. It was never meant to be, quite like this. It was originally supposed to be just talking about like doing Space Engineers myth busting, but yeah, it turned into this pretty quick, huh? So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you again, everybody. I do appreciate it. For the folks that are joining us that are new to the community, welcome to the community. Hope you're enjoying it, and we'll see you all in the next one. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Oh, still so much more to do.